To Cairo, the based investment bank. Beltone Financial says that thanks to a turnaround in Egypt, it's achieved economic reform programs. The economy has been able to withstand the COVID-19 pandemic. Beltone sees fourth quarter GDP at 4% for this year, which would make it one of the region's best performers. The company is now diversifying into non-banking financial activities. Joining me now on the phone, it is the CEO, Ibrahim Karam. Ibrahim, great to have you with me. So let's talk about the business, first of all, for you. The non-banking financial services licenses. This is the jewel that we all want to know a little bit about. What progress have you made? What is the timeline to getting those licenses? Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Actually, Beltone Financial, it's a pure conventional business. We have asset management, we have brokerage, we have investment banking, and we decided to go into the non-banking financial activities. We are a bit latecomers to this sector of this type of investment, but we have the benefit of the insight of what went wrong in the market, so we decided to go heavily on this. We applied for 3 licenses, which is the consumer finance, financial leasing, and a new model that will be first in Egypt, which is RBF, or revenue-based financing. It's a new trend that's going through the world. And Beltone is the first company in Egypt that will announce such type of services, which I think will fit and fly with Egyptian mentality. At the end of the loans to the banks, etc. This is a little bit different, which we share the revenue with the company, and we help them to achieve the benefits. So we applied for those 3 licenses. We got them last month. And we launched, and actually we are now launching them in the market. So we expect them to be operated in September. We have the best management team. So we are ready.
Okay, so to get scale very quickly in that market, where can you get to? Can you do it organically, or do you think, Ibrahim, next year you will be a buyer of businesses to deliver scale?
Look, the fact of the paradox about going organically or through an acquisition, it depends on the price. We believe that the market is still virgin and can accommodate much more players than what it has today. So we don't see the reasons why we have to go and do it inorganically or do an acquisition with very expensive price. So we decided to go organically on these 3 types of activities. And we believe that the market is still virgin and can accommodate actually much more players. So organically is the right decision for us for the time being. Next year, it depends on our plans. We have a very aggressive plan as well. We might do some acquisition. I don't know. It depends on the strategy that we will decide at the time, of course.
Best response ever. It depends on the price and the market structure. But you're there. You're willing to do a deal if one comes. Ibrahim, can I ask you, Orascom Investment splits in 2. You fall into the family of Orascom Financial. What is the impact for you? What does it mean for the business?
Regarding what? The merger, you mean?
Well, the demerger, obviously, Orascom Investment now splits into 2 entities. You've got Orascom Investment Holdings and Orascom Financial Holdings. You fall into Orascom Financial Holdings with Thawar, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I just want to get a sense what that means. How does that translate in reality for you running the business?
No, for us, it's more focused from the parent holding about the financial services. Of course, I'm not here or I'm not authorized to speak on their behalf. But I believe that, as they mentioned, they're focusing on the financial services and they're trying to develop it. So the demerge is positive for us. It has more focus and more specialization from our major shareholder on this. So I believe it's positive. It's positive for Beltone for sure.
To the markets, let's get your take in terms of the performance. We put Egypt down. You say the inflation forces will remain subdued, and you're going for a growth rate of around 4%. Do you expect more? Do you expect more action in terms of central bank support? Do you expect more policy response from the government to support the economy there?
Look, actually, thanks for the turnaround Egypt have achieved in the last year and the difficult decision that has been taken during the last 6 months and the government spending. The economy was able to withstand the COVID-19 implications with the diversity it offers. As you just mentioned, we see that the GDP growth slowed to 4%, but still this 4% is one of the strongest and the highest in the region. The target was 6%, but at least we achieved 4%. So I think giving the pace down that we expect to see, or we experienced the last period, the inflation is under control. So I think the central bank is not facing a lot of pressure. We have recorded a low inflation over the past few months, coupled with the low oil prices. All those factors will support absorbing the inflation.
What can you tell me then?
If it happens.
Okay, if you put that all together and we pop this into the GTV library, this is the real 3-month yield for Egypt and the real interest rate for Egypt. Are you seeing a step up in the flow of money into the carry trade? How would you describe the carry trades at the moment?
Look, this is a very complicated and simple at the same time, because when you look at the trade, you have to look at the two sides at the same time. So if we take what's happening in the U.S. market, for example, and the Fed just announced, or a few days announced, that they will keep the interest rates low for the coming period or maybe years, even regardless the outcome of the U.S. election. But because of the U.S. and China trade war tactics, the U.S. will keep the interest rates. So the real interest rate differentiation will help Egypt to keep its currency at the current level. I do believe that it will remain at the current level. If it's not appreciated, subject to a better performance in next year, I think the central bank is now managing well the situation, and I don't think that it will face a lot of pressure next year, especially with the pickup that we expect that the Egyptian economy. And all the agencies now are looking that Egypt will recover next year and might reach 6% GDP growth, which I think it will be one of the highest again in the region, if not in the world.
Ibrahim, some good calls there in terms of growth and the currency stability to come. Ibrahim Karam on Beltone Financial and their plans for financial services, the CEO. We thank you for joining us this morning. Much more to come right here on Daybreak Middle East. This is Bloomberg.